Hello and welcome to Cash Furnace. My name is Paul Kinzerski, and together with my co host Eric Downs, we aim to become your go to source for stock market and crypto news. Today's date is February 17th, 2021. It's a Wednesday. In today's podcast, we're going to cover the SPY finally taking a dip. We gave you some indicators before. How bad is it going to get? Is this the worst it's going to get? Is now a good time to buy the dip? In crypto, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We blew through 50K, baby. It's a good day. We're also going to talk about taking non-crypto assets on chain, throwing out some ideas, doing some mental digging on potential future things you can bring to the crypto world that you wouldn't think would even be possible. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see and you want the news to keep coming, we say it every day. You know what to do. Hit the big three, like, comment, subscribe. Help us run up this YouTube algorithm, and let's make some money. Eric, let's get right into it. SPY. We saw it coming. We saw the cracks. Coming,
and I think what's weird is that, is it here? Did it come today? Hard to say. I think, as you know, what we were seeing, a lot of the indicators we were seeing was that momentum might be slowing down. We're not exactly sure. Are we gonna? Is this a big pullback? Do we just need a little bit? Do we just need to like pause and cool off for a little bit, or do we need an actual pullback? Yep. And we can't answer that question. But as we rip higher and higher, amidst daily articles from analysts saying these are the 500,000 reasons and 67,000 charts that we have to show you that this current market dynamic and market environment is more effed up than it's ever been in the history of the stock market. As we get more and more of those, and as we reach that psychological all-time high of 400 I guess it's technically 4,000 in the S&P. Yeah, we're probably going to see some turbulence. We're probably going to see some volatility, and you know what? We're seeing it. So I'm going to flip us over here. I'm going to show you a chart that I've been checking out here. Let me bring it up. Here it is. All right. And what we see, so this is the S&P. This is the SPY, and these are our last few days. Now, we're looking at a lot of our basic indicators. RSI, not overblown. It's okay. Not overbought. Volume, it's not awful. It's not awful. It's a little lower than our sort of trailing average, but it's not like
not bad.
Like we're losing a little bit of momentum, and that's reflected up here on the chart. But the big thing to notice, I think, is that as we rocket up here, we start to taper off a little bit. Look how long these candles get. Look how long the bodies get. Yep. Now, if you don't know anything about candles, the quick Cliff's Notes is that they essentially summarize the stock price activity for the day. The body of the candle basically tells you where the stock opened and closed. If it's red, it opened at the top and it closed at the bottom. If it's green, it opened at the bottom and closed at the top. And the wick shows you everywhere it traveled. And using just these three elements or four elements, however you want to consider them, there's a lot that you can glean about the environment, the market sentiment, about whatever particular stock you're looking at. So what we're seeing, and to add to that, when you see, a short wick or short body candles, not a ton of movement, you're not seeing a lot of volatility. It's everyone just kind of slowly marching upward together. But when you see big, long candles, there was a lot of price action all over the place, and it was jumping around. And as you can see, in the last 5 days, our highs haven't gotten that much higher, but our candles have gotten a lot longer. And we've seen it in the market. And today was no exception, man. I'll tell you what, my account took a hit today, took a haircut.
Oh yeah,
And
mine did
all
too.
all the growth stocks, all the growth stocks really got a big chip taken out of them. And I think we talk
Exactly
about
what
it.
we were talking about yesterday, man.
It's true.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah.
And you know what? Well, what's funny about that? Right along in line with yesterday. You know, let me see. I'm going to bring it up here. You know who didn't take a big haircut? You want to guess?
Tesla, Facebook.
Facebook down 0.15%.
That's right.
Nothing. Nothing. In fact, can I just bring it up here? Can I do that? You saw the volatility on that SPY chart. Look at Facebook today.
That's right.
Actually, I don't know why mine says down and this says it was technically green, but either way, look, we just can continue to sort of like steadily march upwards with Facebook. My conviction lays strong in there as well that I'm going to say it every day, folks. It's Pauly.
That's absolutely right. There's one thing I'd like to point out. If you could go back to the SPY. Can you hear me, Eric?
I can now.
Okay. There's one thing I'd like to point out. Oh, there we go. So, the biggest thing, how you were talking about, I think a good lesson to learn is the long candle bodies, right? But what I think is an even better indicator is when you have short bodies and very, very long candles or very long wicks. My apologies.
Oh, yeah.
So big bodies show that the price opened and closed at a large distance, right? But big wicks means there's a lot of volatility in the stock, but the stock pretty much came back to near where it opened.
Yeah.
So the body of a candle is made by opening and closing prices, and the wicks show just how high and low that price got to at its extremes for the day. So when you look and you see very large wicks, if they're included with large bodies, that's even more volatility. But if they have small bodies as well, that means there's a lot of volatility, a lot of quick movements in the price, and that's an even more serious indicator that the price is going to make a move very soon, and it's probably in the opposite direction of where it's been trending.
Yeah, as we reach these all-time highs and we reach these sort of this slowing momentum and we start to get these just like, I feel like when we wake up, it's almost like the sensation to me is like a thunder strike, It's just like boom, market's down. What are you going to do about it, I think we're going to see more and more of that as prices continue to run higher and skepticism runs deeper and deeper, man. But I did want to say to your point, Pauly, about big wicks, I just wanted to take this moment to, remind everyone of my favorite little stock that I'm trading over on TikTok on the Purple Challenge. Purple mattress. You want to see some big wicks and some great support? Check out Purple. Last 2 days, we've been getting these big market drops. And every day you can see it on the candles, on the wicks. It drops far down with the rest of the market and always gets supported up. Today it gets pushed up just above its the simple moving average. I love it. I love it. I think there's still a lot of
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of downward force happening here in the market abroad, but man, Purple,
of course.
I love Purple.
And well, one of the nice things is the cool things about the market is when you identify a trend like that, you can make money off of it, right?
Yeah.
So you see the massive down spike, but Purple has just this solid concrete floor. You just wait to see that momentum start to shift the other way. You hit the buy button and you ride it back up. Even if it's an intraday trade, that's called scalping. And there are some incredibly profitable scalpers out there. I personally don't know if I don't have the attention span, but I don't have the time at the moment to stare at charts like that.
Same.
but it's a very profitable way to trade once you identify a chart being within, say, a channel or a trend, or exactly as Eric said, a great they have a great floor and they just continue to bounce right off of it. So yeah,
Indeed.
little trading lesson for the day.
Indeed. Paulie, I hear you have some. I heard a lot of excitement in your voice in the intro about Bitcoin and crypto, and I just got to ask,
I
man,
mean,
tell us what's going on.
I don't know if you heard, but we had a pretty good Bitcoin day.
Was it a new all-time high?
Oh, it was funny. You should say
Wow,
that.
awesome.
And I just want to reiterate, this is me and Eric talked on, I believe it was Sunday or Monday, right? And Eric said volume is declining, right? Traditional market would show that it's a good time to sell. And one of the things I warned about, Eric, is that when Bitcoin is in these bull runs, traditional charting just out the fucking window. It becomes the honey badger. It doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks, any of the rules of the stock market. It just goes up. And today shows that, right? It's wild. There is so much buying right now. I just announced the news yesterday that MicroStrategy decided to sell $600 million, right, in order to buy more crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Today, they upped that another $300 million.
Good
So
God.
now it is $900 million, damn near $1 billion of more crypto they're going to be buying at these all-time high record prices. Institutions are just getting in, man. We have German banks that are starting to get in and pile in on this. This is just beginning. It's going to be wild. So, with this crypto becoming more popular, people starting to understand the utility of blockchain, right? Understand Ethereum and how you could build anything off of an Ethereum, basically a blockchain based technology utilizing that Ethereum software. I wanted to bring some ideas that I personally have been thinking about when it comes to taking non-crypto assets and actually putting them on chain, on the blockchain. So one of the cool things me and Eric talk about offline is real estate, because there are the biggest asset in the United States, the one that has made the most traditional millionaires, right? You have stocks and you have real estate and land. Those are the two big boys. Me and Eric are pretty good here right now. We also want to be very good here and live that beach life, right? That passive income. I'm on a beach for the rest of my life in Puerto Rico or something, paying no tax.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the cool things about on-chain is, say you, Eric, want to invest in Hawaii, but you don't want to buy a REIT. For everybody that doesn't know what a REIT is, it's a real estate trust, essentially, that invests in a whole bunch of different assets when it comes to real estate and pays you back with the profits.
Right.
And you invest in that company and they spread that money everywhere, and that money comes back to you, and you have very low risk, at least in the real estate market, because you're so spread out. However, say you and I specifically, Eric, identify a house right on the beach in Hawaii, and we say, I know for a fact this thing's going to go up, because what has Hawaiian real estate done since Hawaii became a U.S. state, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only skyrocketed in value. What a savvy investor could do is they buy that house. Then they create a token specifically for that house. They say, okay, you have 10,000 shares of my house at 182 Beautiful Beach Street, Hawaii, USA.
Hmm.
Right?
Okay.
I then can can sell each one of those little pieces versus the value. Say the value of the house is 1 million and I have 1 million coins. I could sell each one of those coins for $1. And I could get investors from all over the world to invest in my one property. And you and I could take advantage of that because, damn, we know this property is going to go up. We're going to buy 1,000 of these coins. All of a sudden, as the value of that property rises, the value of your coin also rises because you identified that one niche market. And this could be done in any asset across the entire world. Very, very cool things to think about.
Interesting.
And this is just one application of the blockchain and of tokenizing assets that you can basically apply the blockchain to. It's very cool to think about.
Dude, that's incredible. It's funny. I was just talking with a friend last night about this, and that exact question came up. It was, okay, so Bitcoin, cool, man. How does it? But like, is that it? Is it just currency? And I was like, no, no,
It's everything.
no.
It's everything.
Yeah. If just like if you just list the amount of list any human interaction, any human transaction, I should say, and there's a blockchain, application for it that it can improve it dramatically.
Right.
Like it's very likely
Right.
that it can add an immense amount of efficiency to whatever market it's in. And I think what you just said is a supreme example of that. I think it's an excellent
Right.
example. Man, I love it. I mean, Paulie, I assume you have a bunch of these up your sleeve, right? I'm sure you're aware of like all the different use cases for this, for crypto in general and blockchain.
Well, you say I have a bunch of them up my sleeve, but literally, like, quite literally, any money-making asset, you can do this to. It's just you need to pay a development team, right, to create the token. And then at that point, you need to have basically the computing power, which would be Ethereum, right? You'd pay the network fees in order to transact that token to each person, and they need to be able to store it. Those are the three major things.
Okay.
But once you have that nailed down, this could be applied towards anything. It could be applied towards art. It could be applied towards land. It could be applied towards houses. It could be applied towards collectors' cars, collective cards, Pokemon cards right now. Quite literally anything can be tokenized. And it's really cool to think about because somebody could you basically can invest in anything you possibly could imagine without being to actually able to afford that asset. You can at least profit from it accruing value.
It's incredible. I mean, just even taking how do I say, it's incredible as even just as a thought experiment, really.
I agree.
Because and what's funny is that thought experiment is what the entire crypto community is doing right now every day.
Yeah.
They're going through and thinking about every single use case that could possibly exist, and every single transactional market use or anything like that. All of these things are better with blockchain. They really are. And
so here's the coolest idea, right? And I don't know if this is out there, and it'd be very, very cool for you and I to look into, Eric.
oh boy.
But say you built a company, right, that specializes in taking off-chain assets and putting them on chain.
Wow. Yeah.
And you pay the fees and everything. You have the management structure. You say, okay, you have this many coins, and you could exchange it for any sort of stable coin, right? So people's traditional dollar can go into a stable coin. You could buy our coin with that stable coin
Mm-hmm.
and say we'll store it on our servers. And everybody with those assets can come to us for tokenization and basically investment into their property in this sort of manner. It's a very cool idea.
That
The
is
problem is
cool.
I don't have the technical knowledge to do it. I know you don't either.
I
We'd
don't.
have to make some cool connections, but that would be a sweet business. I wonder if it's out there. I'm gonna search for it tonight, just out of interest.
Well,
But
viewers, let's I look, I know there's just simply droves of you out there. Um, if you have any technical expertise in this area, drop us a line. Drop us a line. Maybe we chat.
please,
Maybe we chat a little bit, and maybe we put together an incredible business idea. Um, uh, love it, Polly, dude. Love that. Um,
very cool, right? It just
very
shows the
cool.
power of crypto, and this is not going away.
No,
Even if Bitcoin goes to zero, like I don't know,
the technology,
nobody expects, the tech is here to stay.
and that's what's important.
And the
Yeah.
best part is everybody that say you invest in this property, right? And you send your money and you get a token. And someone tries to scam you now out of that token and say, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. This money, this place is all mine. I don't see any transactions or anything like that." And they just try to walk away with your money. Guess what the best part is? Every single transaction has been agreed upon and stored in multiple ledgers across the world, and it's fully traceable. So that means the days of scams and everything are gone. Everybody knows where you sent the money, who received that money, how much exactly they received, and you received.
Yeah.
So it's a really good, very transparent way to conduct things like this.
It's
It's cool.
it's really cool, man. It's really cool because I mean, look, I don't want to harp on it too long, but when you start going down this path, you start to realize how idiotic some of the conventions of our transactional system are.
Oh,
How
completely.
silly and stupid some of these things are.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about. I was chatting with my friend yesterday about NFTs, right? And
Yep.
he was trying to understand it, maybe pick it apart a little bit. And he was like, "What happens if such and such happens?" I was like, "Blockchain, dude. It's all in the ledger. It's all verified."
Yep. Yep.
Dude, gone are the days where you have to have some sort of transactional middleman, like a PayPal phone rep, saying, "Oh, this is what he said, and this is what she said, and I have to, mediate and
Double
somehow."
check and
Yeah,
yep,
it's
yep.
like there's no question.
And then
It
take a
happened.
percentage in a
Yeah,
fee.
is the
There's nothing like that. This is pennies on a dollar transactions that happen that has a fully transparent history. It's a
yeah,
beautiful thing. This is going to change finance.
yep,
It's not even a question. It's just a matter of how imaginative people are going to get with it.
yep.
And I guarantee you, in 10 years' time, we are going to be seeing shit that's just blowing our minds.
Dude, I can't wait for it. And look, man, I say this on a near daily basis, but whenever I hear stuff like this, it just reminds me that, you know what? Now is a hell of a time to be alive.
I completely agree, man.
Yeah, man.
No better time than now.
Nope.
On that note, I feel like that's a pretty positive, pretty upbeat way to end the episode.
I wholeheartedly agree.
All right. So, if you like what you saw, again, hit those three: like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, help us make more people more money. And with that, Cash Furnace will be out. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.